So now we're going to take a look at the franchisee solution. So in order to have separate franchisees only see their data and the corporate users be able to see all data, we have to use extended data security, and the way that we're doing that is through the creation of a franchisee group. So if we go take a look at the franchisee groups, you can see in this system we have two franchisee groups created right now. Franchisee 1 has 2 stores, so this is a multiple store owner, and then franchisee 2 just has 1 store. This franchisee number is what's going to be stamped on the user record. It's also going to be stamped on any store that belongs to it and any data that's created through either of those, the user or the store. So any transactions, any new workers created, etc. That's what's going to actually segregate the data. So when we create a franchisee group, we also create automatically in the background a franchisee operating unit. So this is a new type of operating unit. And you can see it's called franchisee group. It's the type, and it gets stamped with that franchisee group number as well. So this is what's going to be in your org hierarchy, and it's going to go underneath the legal entity, and the stores, the retail channels, will be underneath that franchisee group. So let's go take a look at that. All right, so if we go down and we take a look at one of our hierarchies, let's do the retail store by business unit, and we look in here. So we have our legal entity, have our business units, and then below those, if we zoom in here, we can see that we have retail channels associated with that business unit, and we also have franchisee group as a middle layer in between there. And within that franchisee group, below that we have the retail channels that belong to it. So that gives you an idea of how the organization structure works with the franchisee groups. Alright, so I'm logged in as an admin user right now. And you can see I have no franchisee number associated with my record. So I'm able to see any of the data in the system, regardless of franchisee owner, and what we consider a corporate user. You can see here, it's franchisee user number 1. They have the franchisee group associated with their record, which means they will only be able to see things that are stamped with that franchisee number. So we can see this pretty easily by going to the stores. As an admin user, you can see I have access to all the stores, regardless of their franchisee number. But if we log in here as that franchisee user number 1, which I'm logged in as, you can see I'm only able to see the 2 stores that belong to my franchisee number. You can see it right here stamped on there. Same logic applies, not just what you can see, but when you create a new record, it's automatically going to be stamped with that same franchisee number. So if we go to create a new worker, for instance, then as you can see I only have 1 worker associated with my franchisee number. And if I go create a new one, I can say franchisee test, and let's give us a start date and hire this worker. So you can see when I refresh this, automatically has that FRN number associated with it. So that makes it so anything I create I can see, but no other franchisee can actually see that record. If we go in as an admin user, we can see all the workers that belong to the system, regardless of which franchisee number they belong to. So if I was to go in, find that worker that we just created, and I was to go change this franchisee number as an admin to one of the other franchisees, now if we look over as this franchisee, that worker record is no longer visible to us. So you can see that just by assigning that franchisee number, that is what dictates what's going to be available. So we've seen how you can control how records are created by franchisees and what types of records they're able to see. But there's other types of records that maybe you don't even want franchisees to be able to create, and you wanted them to be completely managed by corporate or partially managed by corporate. So a good example of that is the assortments. So if we look at assortments as an admin user, we can see all the assortments throughout our organization. We can see there's this one here that has a franchisee number, and that's the only one that we're seeing. So this is similar to the other records we've looked at. However, you can see there's no new button up here. So the way it's configured right now, the franchisee owners are not able to create their own assortments. They have to have them created by corporate. Their stores will be assigned to the assortment by corporate, but then the franchisee can come in and actually assign the products. So that allows them to be in control of what products they sell at their store, but it doesn't give them the freedom to just go and create any assortment they want. So we've seen on the types of records that we've looked at so far that if a record has no franchisee number associated with it, then it's not visible to a franchisee owner. However, there's a different type of record in which case the lack of a franchisee number actually means that it's available to all franchisees. So discounts are a good example of that. In this case, not having this franchisee number here means that corporate created a discount and they want it to be applied throughout their organization. So the franchisees still have the ability to create their own discounts, which will be stamped automatically with their franchisee number, but corporate can also create discounts which apply to all their stores as long as the price group also allows it. So you can see this discount has franchisee number 2 associated with it, and with me being logged in as franchisee number 1, I'm not able to see that discount.